Alright, hi guys. So I just wanted to quickly hop on here to talk about my visa in China, or why I'm in China. So basically, I am at a crossroad right now. I came to China with a tourist visa and I am applying for my Z visa because I wanted to come and kind of scope it out first and see if I liked it. And I do, and so I brought all the necessary paperwork that I would need to get processed in order to get a work visa and teach English. And so I brought all the paperwork and it's been sent off to the company I'm trying to work for. And yesterday I actually got some news that could potentially like fuck everything up, and I'm not really sure what is gonna happen and if something happens what I'm gonna do. So basically you need like 1,000 documents. It's a really tedious process to get your work visa. I mean, it was honestly a pretty tedious process just to get my tourist visa, but the work visa is a whole nother thing. Not only do you have a lot of documents you need, but you have to get them notarized and authenticated in certain areas, like sending it off for an FBI background check and getting stuff like signed off in the same place you live. And I mean, if anyone's interested, like wants to know the whole process, let me know. It's definitely like you start thinking like, did I really want to go to China? But anyway, I was like really good, got everything together, brought it with me. So I don't know if this was a mistake on my part or if it was just something that's changed in China, but my background check I got in December, it got denied, which out of all the pieces of my paperwork to get denied, the background check is the one document that you absolutely have to get done when you're in the States because you need to be there in person. It's like you can't have a proxy for it and you can't get it done in China. So when I was getting all my paperwork together, it was one of the documents that I was told I definitely needed to have sorted. And so that was the first one I did, but I did it too soon, I guess. Unfortunately, at this point, that's what's happening. And so my boss pretty much messaged me that that this has happened and that he's gonna try and see what he can do. But obviously, like I know worst case scenario, I'm gonna have to go back to the United States, get a new one. And if I'm honest with you, it's expensive to get a Chinese work visa. I spent a lot of money getting all this stuff, not to mention coming over here. And the thought of having to fly all the way back home and paying more money to get a new document sent and then flying all the way back and then getting my job, it's like, your girl ain't rich. I don't know if I can wait that long. And it's just like a lot of effort, to be honest. At this point, I don't really know my boss. He hasn't come back with a definitive, yes, you need to go home and redo this document yet. He hasn't said that. But I'm kind of wondering if he does, if it's gonna be something that I like am willing to do. Or if I decide that, you know, being here and just exploring like this part of China is enough. And, you know, there's obviously pros and cons to both sides. Like I came all the way out here to like have this job in my fingertips and then it just like gets whisked out of my hands. Also, I've already spent a lot of money, like dig my heels in this late in the game. It's like, well, that will all now definitely be for a waste. So it's like there are pros and cons. I'm like still debating. Obviously the cons would be losing money, and just like having to go through this process and wait even longer and having to leave China. But there are definitely some pros. So for me, I feel like there's things in my life that I didn't realize I needed to work through, like just personal stuff, and being in China makes it like 10 times harder because just living here in itself is hard. Not super hard to the point where you shouldn't come, but hard. I mean, it's a very, very different place to live. And I guess with my foundation already having some holes in it, moving here has blown those open, and I've honestly been struggling a little bit with my mental health and just, I wouldn't say depression, but definitely a lot of anxiety and definitely a lot of vulnerability. And you know, I've been working through it the best I can, but another downside about living here is I am absolutely alone. I've met some awesome people, and without them I probably wouldn't have even stayed this long. But it's like, sometimes it can feel like you're by yourself a lot of the time. Not to mention, I want to make these videos. And so this brings me to my next point. I want to make these videos. I've gotten, you know, some traction, and I really enjoy like having this creative outlet to express myself and make content. And it keeps me accountable, and it makes me feel really proud when other people enjoy watching my videos. Overall, like when I have been depressed, making these videos has been like a distraction, but in a good way. It's been a goal. It's been the light at the end of the tunnel that I just constantly work towards, and I really, really appreciate what this platform's given me, and for you guys for watching. However, you know, when I decided to move to China, the job that I was gonna get was only 25 hours a week, and so you'd have a lot of free time. And I thought, perfect, like I'd spend the rest of my time making videos and showcasing my life here in China, you know, China just in general, because I feel there isn't a lot on YouTube about China. And of course there's all the government stuff, but I was more interested in just seeing like everyday life, culture, the local people, all that kind of stuff. Not really interested in getting into politics. But since being here, I have realized that although I don't have a political goal, it is still a communist country, and you really aren't allowed to say whatever you want. And you have to kind of be careful. You know, not that, you know, you have to like peek around your shoulder at every turn, but there definitely is a feeling of needing to be a bit more aware. And I have noticed myself fearing that I'm gonna like say something wrong. And I made one video over China, all positives, first impressions that I, you know, had. Very, very positive video. And some Chinese person found it on my YouTube and put it on Weibo or Weibo, and which is a Chinese social media platform, and it went viral here. Made it on the local news. It was trending #1, and I started getting like a lot of attention from like news stations and journalists trying to find me and interview me. Honestly, it freaked me out because I just don't want to like ruffle any feathers. Like, I'm not here to do any of that. I'm just here to make my own little videos showcasing my life, and I felt very much like in the spotlight. And it took me a moment. It took me I had to take a step back, because obviously my videos were being viewed, which is great, but it made it really real that I needed to remind myself that I am in a country where you do have to be a bit more cautious and not to just make videos free willy-nilly that you don't want seen. And so I feel like I've had to censor myself a little bit. Nothing's happened like that's like made me really scared. It's more like a precautionary fear, and the fact that I just want to like do my own thing and live my life. Like, I'm not here to be like causing any problems or getting that much attention. So back to the pros and cons. So a pro of leaving would be that I would be able to go back to a country where I can pretty much say and do whatever I want. And I think moving to China has made me appreciate having that right. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, definitely. And like right now, there's a lot of turmoil happening in the media, and I just feel it would be like throwing gas on a fire trying to make any kind of videos. But I came to China with the intention of working on my YouTube at least part-time, but the goal is to make it full-time and to have traveling be a potential full-time job. So the fact that I feel like I can't make my videos to the abilities that I want to makes me feel like, well, why am I here then? Because I came here with the intention of this being like kind of the end goal. And of course, like, I could still film and make videos and just release them when I leave, but I don't know, like, I'm all over the place. Like, I can't really decide like what I want to do, and I don't really know. I feel like I've got a lot on my plate. So I'm gonna wait for a few days until I find out what the final verdict is with my visa. And then I'm gonna make a decision. I'm either gonna stay or I'm gonna go. Here's the thing, like, and I know I'm ranting, but it's nice to be like open about it. I've been traveling now for almost 4 years, like 3.5, 4 years. And I love it. I mean, I wouldn't have changed anything. I will work any kind of job in order to live where I want to live. I'm not above any job. I used to be a housekeeper. I would clean toilets. I was a bartender, receptionist, worked for retail. Yeah, I'll do it all. But I've gotten to the point now where it's still a great way to travel, working just like whatever job you can get. I just want to now start working for myself, or at least like humoring that possibility, because I got a lot of stuff I want to say after 3.5 years of traveling, you know, and the people I meet. I'm interested in starting a podcast. I'm interested in continuing this YouTube channel. I'm interested in creating a website. I pretty much just want to spread the word of my story and hopefully inspire other people to travel, but more than that, just get my voice out there. It like doing it for me. I don't know. I think like low key, I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker. I've said it. I don't always think that I'm qualified or that I have anything worth saying, but deep down I feel like I do as well. It's like half of me feels like I deserve it or that I would be good at it, and the other half is like, stay humble, like don't think you're all that. So it's like this war. But like I genuinely think that I have positive things to say, the things that can help people, and that's kind of that's kind of the thing. So working odd jobs like to get to travel is great, but at the end of the day, it's just working so that I can enjoy it. And I'm at that age, or I'm at that point where I want to give back a little bit with what I'm doing. I don't want my job to just be to make money so that I can do what I want to do. I want my job to be so I make money, but also like helping people, like the service aspect of it, giving back. I really feel like I have stuff to give back, and I want to give it, and I want to figure out how to do it, damn it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna wait and see where we go with the visa. And yeah, that's about it. I will keep you posted. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.